Good morning, horse racing fans. Welcome back to the channel. A huge thanks for tuning in. I've just got the one selection today at a 9-1 in the 145 at Market Race, and it's not the strongest race of all time. It's a juvenile maiden hurdle. It's usually tricky enough to predict, but I think I've found a horse that has been overlooked in the market. We'll start off with the favourite Active Duty. Now, he was a decent enough horse on the flat. He had a rating around about 80 when he moved 2 jumps, and he finished third on his debut at Ludlow. That wasn't the worst of all time. He didn't exactly know his job, but I think he looked a little bit outpaced over 2 miles anyway. I do think he'll be a better horse over further. He has raced over 1 mile 6 on the flat, which suggests he probably would want further than 2 miles in time. And then he ran in the Grade 2 at Cheltenham, where if you look at the bare form of it, he was beaten just over 10 lengths by Comfort Zone and Scriptwriter. On the face of it, that form does look quite good, in that the top 2 are probably going to run in the Triumph Hurdle, and they're probably going to be horses that could run into a place in the Triumph Hurdle. So that form does look good. However, they did go very slow that day. There was about 4 or 5 horses in contention coming down to the last, and he did go backwards quite quickly. I think he was outpaced again. I do think he wants further. He's been given an official rating of 117. That does set a decent enough standard in that, but I do think that is a little bit high. I don't exactly think he'd be winning a handicap off a mark of 117. He has been drifting too. He was about 11 to 8. He's now all the way out to 2 to 1. So I think he is definitely opposable, although the trainer is having a very good season, Ben Pauling. The next in the market is Open Champion at 9 to 4. Alan King, Tom Cannon teaming up. They've had a few winners at Market Rosen before when I've been there. You just don't know with this one. He was sold for £70,000 out of Roger Varian's yard, and he was rated 86. So if he does take to hurdling, he probably will be hard to beat. He's definitely got the most potential out of these one. Next in the market, I don't really fancy this one either, although he has been well supported. Charles Street, who used to be trained by George Berry, I think. He's now moved to Fargo O'Brien over the jumps, and this horse ran well enough at Kempton when he was very well supported. That was in a Class 2. He finished 4th that day. He did finish a little bit further away from the 2nd and the 3rd. There was about a 5-length gap from the 2nd to the 3rd, then another gap to him in 4th. But he did run well enough. Then he ran at Huntingdon. And again, you just thought he could have won that, but he just didn't. He seems to be a horse that he probably was quite short in running. He was sent off short enough in the market. He was favourite again, and he didn't really disappoint, but he probably should have got his head in front by now. He was sent off even money at debut, got beat 10 to 3 on his second start, got beat 3 to 1 on his third start and got beat. So he's becoming expensive to follow. Paddy Brennan does take the ride in place of Liam Harrison this time. He's a horse that'll probably run well, but might just find one that's too good for him. Then we get down to the horse that I do quite fancy here, Chaos Control at 9 to 1 in the market. Now, if this horse didn't disappoint last time, he'd be near on a favourite in this, because he was a decent horse on the flat, a winner over 1.5 miles off a mark of 74, then went hurdling, and he ran in the same race as Charles Street did at Kempton. He was sent off a bigger price at 14 to 1, but he beat Charles Street by 7 lengths, and there was no real excuse for Charles Street to underperform. Chaos Control was tracking the pace in 3rd. He did make a mistake or 2 going round, but it was very promising, and he did look like he was going to win. I think the winner, Ben Pauling Newcomer, that one might have been quite smart as well. So I think the form of that will work out quite well. The winner has run a very good second since, and maybe the run just came a little bit too soon next time out at Huntingdon. He was beaten a long way. It was a strong race. Perseus Way did win it, who had good guided form in races before that, but I think the form of that was good, although he did majorly disappoint. I'm putting that down to the run coming too soon. He was beaten over 20 lengths, but he's had over a month off the track now. With these younger horses, they probably do need a little bit more time. He's had well over a month off the track. I think we're going to see a better horse this time, and even if he gets back to anywhere near his debut form, he'll go very close in this. I can definitely see him running into a place, so he's going to be my sole selection on the day. Chaos Control in the 149 at Market Rosen. It's a 9 to 1 shot. I can definitely see him running into a place. He might even be good enough to go and win this in what is probably quite an ordinary race for this time of the year. So that's all from me today, just the one selection. There will be a video of me previewing the Arkle later today coming out. That's a big clash between John Bond and El Fabiola, maybe Dysart Dynamo as well, so do make sure to tune into that. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.